just coming up to 7 p.m. and a look at Storm Bert, which is developing out in the Atlantic. The air mass satellite there shows it developing quite nicely. If we zoom in there, you can see the centre of it taking shape. So, lots of weather warnings, not going to go through them all. Obviously, the two biggest ones are red for Cork and for Galway. I've said it before, say it again. Weather warnings by entire counties is crazy. It's silly. It needs to change. Putting the whole of Cork into a red is, yeah, it's just silly. Anyway, people will make their views known on that or not. You can see here on the latest radar that the rain is starting to move into the southwest already. So that is heavy rain starting to move in. It won't be that heavy starting off. It is still quite cool, so you can see they're down to 0 degrees. Now, the warmer air is moving in. As you can see, it's down to 9 degrees down there. So if you look at Sherkin Island, 8.6 degrees. So the warmer air is moving up, but as that rain meets the colder air, it will fall as snow for a time, especially on higher ground and especially in parts of the north. So it will be snow turning to rain, but it will be heavy snow for a time. So if you look at the bigger picture overall, you can see the low, see the L there, and you can see that Storm Bert is still developing and still deepening as it goes through tonight. Now, while the centre of the storm stays out in the Atlantic, you can see the rain on the outer edge of it there coming through Ireland, and you can see the purple showing up there, which shows that it's going to fall as snow for a time, especially in the northern part of the country, before turning to rain. Now, if we look here to see the centre of the low, it stays out in the Atlantic and then it kind of pulls back around again through to the north of Ireland on Sunday before clearing away. So we're going to kind of see two different impacts from it, rainfall and wind, and then more wind. So if we look here at the upper air temperature, you can see the milder air does come through. Now, it's not very mild air, but it is much milder than what it has been there. And that is going to bring a big rise in temperatures back up to 13 or 14 degrees. Won't feel it with the wind and the rain, but it is going to get milder. However, as the low pulls away then into Monday, you can see some cooler air. Not as cold, but some cooler air for the start of next week. But it will probably turn milder again then in time for polling day on the 29th. Bit of uncertainty around Friday yet. Could be some rain, risk of some showers, but uncertain yet. Okay, so the biggest issue with Storm Bert is definitely rainfall. So, 24-hour period, the purples here means it's very likely to happen. So if we look here, the whole country is going to see more than 20 millimetres. Most of the country is going to see more than 30 millimetres. Many parts more than 40 and even more than 50 you can see there, especially in the southwest and the west, but even over some of the mountains, the Wicklow Mountains, and the other mountains, as you can see, different areas there. That's really why the dots are there in terms of different areas. It's mountains. But if you look here, over 80 millimeters of rain. That is unusual to see that. We don't often see the assembles showing that. Now, it is mainly West Cork and Kerry and the mountains, but also in Galway. So we are looking at some very heavy rain. So to look at the details on that, we'll have a look at some of the weather models here. So this is the Harmony weather model that my Aaron will use. This is the latest run, which is just updated. And anything basically purple or orange here is more than 50 millimeters. Okay, so it's 50 plus. Anything that's kind of going into the pink is gone over 80 millimeters. So this latest weather model that's just updated, if we zoom in here, you can see it's shown over 110 millimeters of rain in parts of Kerry and also over 100 millimeters in parts of Cork. This weather model has been shown more for parts of Kerry than Cork in terms of the mountains at least, but who am I to say? The red warning is for Cork, not for Kerry. Some parts of North and East Cork are going to see a lot less rain than West Cork. So the weather warning does mention West Cork, but it just do it county by county, which means it's red for the entire county. But you can see there, regardless, there's a lot of rain, over 60 millimeters of rain to fall in a wide part of Cork and Kerry, and then the mountains are going to see even more. And up along the west coast as well into Galway, there's going to be more. But the mountains in Galway have varied a little bit on the weather model. So if we look at another weather model here, this is the UK Met Office. It's showing the heaviest in the southwest again. Not as bad for Galway on this one. Still bad, but just not as bad. If we look here, this one is showing West Cork, as you can see. So it is showing some higher amounts for Cork, but still Kerry, many parts of Kerry seeing the heaviest there as well. But the heaviest there is right on the Cork-Kerry border. And again, North Cork not seeing as much. This is the Army weather model, which is probably my favourite weather model in terms of accuracy. It was better on the snow than the Army weather model, not by a lot, but it was a little bit better. Again, it's showing some high amounts, and again, it's showing the Cork Kerry Mountains as the highest, but it's not showing as much in the Kerry Mountains, which hopefully will be true. It also shows much less for further north Cork, but in Galway, it does have more in parts there. So, look, there's not a huge variance there. You're talking about a difference of maybe 20-30% in terms of the rainfall, but it could be significant in terms of the flooding, which I'll come back to in a second. So looking at the Army weather model, you can see here that heavy rain is going to move right across the country. Now you can see those reds, that's very heavy rain. So overnight, thankfully, is the worst of it. Most of us will be in our labba, but very, very, very wet overnight. And you can see that intense rain there. It really won't start to clear away. This is 8 a.m. now tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So by lunchtime, it will have eased. There'll definitely be a break in it, but more rain is moving in than tomorrow evening. It's more in the way of showers, but some very heavy showers and a possibly even squall line there overnight Saturday night into Sunday. So the heaviest of the rain is overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. By lunchtime, most areas will be seeing a bit of a break in the rainfall. The winds then, so if you look at the winds, will pick up overnight. Again, very strong. 2 o'clock in the morning here, you can see very strong gusts into the west, especially into the parts of the northwest there. But even you can see inland there, kind of following in the Shannon up through Limerick. Very strong winds right across the country. This is 5 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be a noisy night, folks. But by lunchtime, again, the winds will have eased for most people. So if you don't have a whole lot on tomorrow, Saturday, just delay anything you need to do outside till after lunch. That's the safest, or at least 11, 12 o'clock, because the worst of it will be gone. Now, however, with the wind is going to pick back up again Saturday night. So you can see very strong winds again on Saturday night. They will ease off again, but they'll also pick back up again. So if we look at the longer range here, you can see the first set of winds tonight into tomorrow. Bit of a break, pick up again tomorrow night. And then Sunday, more strong winds. Now, the strongest you can see there in the northwest. More warnings are likely for wind on Sunday. And into Monday, then slowly starts to ease. And by Tuesday, thankfully, the winds have eased. So there's a bit of uncertainty around the exact amount of rain. But if we look here at the bigger picture, you can see that rain possibly falling snow for time. And then more Saturday night showers, and then on Sunday there will actually be good sunny spells on Sunday for many, but there will be some showers, and especially later on Sunday. Monday, thankfully, not too many showers, and hopefully things will settle down a little bit for Tuesday and Wednesday at least. Bit of uncertainty around Friday, as I said, Thursday, Friday, a little bit of uncertainty there. So look, the main point is very, very wet, very heavy rain, and obviously the issue is on the mountains in parts of the southwest and the west. There's a lot of snow. It's going to thaw pretty quickly. It's going to come down off the mountains and met with very heavy rain, saturated soils. There has been a good bit of rain in parts of the southwest in the last week, especially. Flooding is likely. If you're in an area that's prone to flooding in the southwest or the west or the south, then take your precautions. You know yourself what to do in terms of if you have sandbags, or if you need to keep an eye on certain levels. The heaviest rain is going to be overnight tonight, but it will take time for that rainfall to come down off the mountains. So while the red warning may end at 10 a.m., in terms of the heaviest rainfall will be gone, there may be a bit of a lag in terms of the rain coming down off the mountains and you seeing the heaviest of the flooding. So that's something to keep an eye on. So if anybody gets any reports of flooding, please send me a message on whatever platform you follow me on, and I can try and share it, because it is great to get those early warnings. I remember when Middleton was flooding with Storm Bert last year, people were able to get the message through quite quickly and I was able to share it. So if you do see flooding, then send me a message with it. But yeah, it's not going to be a pretty day tomorrow, Saturday, but if you can stay in bed, have a lie on, and by lunchtime things will be improving. But watch out for the winds and stay safe.